Hey everybody, this is Sean Powell. Today is Labor Day, and I spent most of the day, I'm not gonna lie, being lazy, falling asleep on the couch watching the little boys play the new iPad. I'm sorry, the new laptop I got them. They love Minecraft, and just laying back watching them play, Xbox games and stuff like that. I've enjoyed the day, I really have. But I still wanted to put up at least one video today, and I really thought that earlier today I'd seen a post in a Facebook group. And it just got me thinking again about so many times how people are focusing their attention at the wrong way. And a lot of times they don't even know it or they don't think about it. Maybe that's the way to perceive it. And I was thinking, I remember when I first got into Facebook, how I felt. You know, matter of fact, I would say to say, quote unquote, that I felt like a little fish. I don't even know if I felt like a fish, and the pond was like literally the ocean. That's how big Facebook is. And I was surrounded by sharks. I remember as soon as I got in the Facebook group, I don't know why, but I was getting hit left and right. People directly messaging me, and they don't even do that now about their opportunities and stuff like that. But I felt like I was out of my comfort zone, out of my league, whatever you may want to call it. And I remember thinking or shortly after, about a month later, I turned into the shark. It didn't take long. It really didn't. But it took me staying in that big water where the other fish were and learning. It's really what I felt like I had to do. So while I was thinking about that, I said, it'd be really cool for me to draw an illustration explaining to you what I learned in the process. And I'm going to give you some examples. It doesn't mean that they're bad or good. It's just what happened for me, if that helps you explain, understand a little bit better. And I remember specifically when I first came into online business, that I felt like Craigslist was going to be the answer for me. You know what I'm saying? Now I live in North Carolina. I got leads. I did good. I was getting to some parts of Virginia, anywhere local that I could to some degree. And I even taught myself how to not get what do you want to call it when you quit, where people weren't knocking you down all the time for your posts and stuff like being flagged. And so I figured out how to do that as well. And if anybody wants to know what the answer was, that was I wrote content that did not look like ads. I told people what I thought about my business, what it meant to me. I put a picture of me and my little boy, and that really I learned how to think the right way. And I don't know why, but I think it was so personalized and so sincere that a lot of times people didn't flag it. You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds crazy, but it got to the point where when I did post like that, nobody messed with it. Ironically, I also learned in Craigslist that the biggest locations were not my best locations. Um, Sometimes you find a sweet spot where there's not that many people posting, but it gets seen. And so I had a couple of places like that. But what was all said and done, I was getting leads, over 100 leads, in a fairly decent amount of time, considering I was working 60 some hours a week during that process. I was using my Craigslist to only do that. I didn't know how to do anything else. And I collect arcade games. I got these really big ones. So I knew Craigslist. That's all I knew. It was my source of getting out to the people. And that business I was in at that time, I'd seen one guy who was like third on the leaderboard, and he'd gotten a lot of people in, and he was using Craigslist, and he was from Arizona. And I remember thinking to myself, well, Arizona, wow, it must be a wholesome place or something, for that like-minded kind of people. Well, I wound up getting my lead numbers up, but the problem was I could not get them to convert, no matter what I was doing. And then shortly later, I kind of realized when I got in Facebook, I didn't know it at that time, but when I got in Facebook, I was surrounded by like-minded people. Now, I knew I was getting looked at, I was getting watched, but I was surrounded by the right kind of people. Now, the reason I draw a ditch here is because, and I'm not knocking Craigslist for everybody. That's not what I'm saying. I just want you to understand. In my scenario, I was throwing in to fishing. This is fishing right here. Obviously, it's a tackle box, there's some messed up shoes. I know it is. He does have some cool hair and a nice smile, though. So his personality's good. and he's got 3 rod and reels. He's here to do some business. You know what I'm saying? He's come to do some work for some fishing, that's for sure. But while I was fishing, I felt like I was throwing it into a ditch where something was eating the worms all the time, but it wasn't the right kind of fish. Now, I could have wasted a lot of days, a lot of time playing in this ditch. And the sad part is, y'all, here's the big pond right here beside you. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if it's because I was intimidated by the other fishermen and the other big fish that was in the pond. I don't know what I was intimidated by. And obviously, the fish, y'all, are going to be the leads, the people, the right-minded, right kind of people. You know what I'm saying? So, but for the longest time, I stayed really consistent in throwing it inside that ditch. And I'd watch, my cork go down, pick back, and there'd be nothing there, and the worms gone. And I was wasting a lot of time doing this. Now, again, another parts, maybe Craigslist is perfect, and that is the big pond for you. I'm not knocking Craigslist. I'm just saying as an example. Understand what I'm saying? Now, let's say that you are a fisherman, which is going to be an online marketer, and you have joined a business you're really excited about. You're going to go catch a whole bunch of fish. It's going to change your life. That's the reason you did online business. I know that, right? Well, a lot of you, instead of fishing every day, you stand over here and you talk to your buddies in the Facebook groups. These people are already in your business. You're not throwing a hook out there at all. You're not. You may even know and have strategies and game plays, or however you want to call it, to catch fish. But the problem is you're not fishing. You're standing on the bank talking to other people. And ironically, they're not fishing either. Y'all talk about fishing, but you're not doing it. You understand what I'm saying? So this is going to be for the people who sit in the Facebook group, for the business Facebook group all day long. And and you're great cheerleaders. I am tickled to death. We need people like that. I grant you that. That's not what I'm saying. But you don't need to waste your whole day. Your priorities are not right. Now, in my opinion, you should spend some time posting motivational things. You should be uplifting other people. If this guy brought in 5 new people today, then you should be, hey, welcome into the group, blah, blah, blah. But don't let that be your entire day. Don't let that be it. Now, your big pond, in my case, it felt like Facebook. I don't know of a bigger pond to be in than Facebook. 1 billion fish is a lot of fish. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, that was intimidating for me. And I felt like I was overwhelmed when I first got in it. But you know what? I fished in it every day. I knew the ditch wasn't the answer. It wasn't the answer for me. I could get the bites, but they would never convert. And it wasn't from lacking. I was having people enjoy my post. They just weren't right-minded. They weren't the right kind of people. When I join a group and it's work from home opportunity, work at home opportunities, network marketing, things of that nature, and there's 60,000, 119,000, 120,000 people in it, those are a lot of fish. Now, what you need to do is you're getting seen, right? Because you're fishing every day. You got to get in the pond. You got to get in the pond. If you fish here every day in a pond full of fish, big fish, you're going to catch something, y'all. You got to. And no matter what you think about it, you're going to learn. You've got to learn from it because you're fishing. You're learning the entire time. So I'm telling you, if you're doing something that is that ditch, y'all, whatever that may be for you, go to the big pond. Big pond to me would be Facebook. It would be YouTube. If you're good at ranking at Google, if you want to do web pages, if it's going to be getting to the masses, you know that to the masses. These little pond, these little ditch things is not the answer. So find what that is for you. Now, I would tell you this: stay focused at one way. Okay. Now, I've preached upon this, and I've said it before. Now, I don't have my phone with me this time. But staying focused in this pond, y'all, after about a month's time, I started getting really good results. And shortly after, all I was using was my phone. I didn't even have a laptop at the time. I was using my phone, and I was getting out there in that pond, and I was starting getting major lead numbers, enough that would change people's lives a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm telling you. And I learned to master this one way. I stayed focused at that big pond. That big pond for me was Facebook. And before long, about a month in, y'all, I was the shark. I realized real quick, I ain't gonna say I knew how to do everything yet, but I tell you what, I was getting results. And one of the best things I learned was I didn't get caught up over here. I didn't stay all day. The number one issue that 95% of the people have, this is an honest truth, is you spend less than 15 minutes a day fishing. I'm talking fishing, not standing beside it talking, playing in the ditch. I mean fishing. And if you had spent 15 minutes a day here and spent the rest of that day here, your results are never going to be the same as 15 minutes here and spending the rest of the day here. I can tell you that. So some of y'all, I know that you want to do well in your business. I know that your priorities and you understand that this business can get you somewhere. But y'all, if you're not getting seen by people who are not in your business, you're not going to grow. And some of y'all, you think that solo ads is going to be the answer, that email marketing, and it can be. It can be. You throw enough money at it, you do enough email marketing, you master that way, then it'll work for you. The problem is some of y'all want to hide behind your funnel the entire time and not face the people. And that funnel is going to be someone connecting with someone, but it ain't you. People get in business with people. Okay, I've heard it from day one. Honestly, probably the first day I've ever been in online business. People get in online business with people. If they get a chance to meet you, talk to you on the phone, see you in video, see you anywhere like that, and get to see you on a regular basis. See the type of person you are in the Facebook groups, posting things, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to know how to do everything. All you really got to do, y'all, is tell them what you've learned in the process while you're applying action. Because 90% of the people, if not more, aren't applying any action. They're going to follow you. If you're getting results because you're fishing, it's going to happen. Something amazing is going to happen. You know what's going to happen? You're going to catch fish. And they're going to be some big ones. And you're going to have some incredible days. You'll never have incredible days fishing if you're standing on the side talking about it and that's all you ever do. The person who fishes here the most every day is the one that gets the most comfortable with it. I guarantee you God's going to bless this person for fishing every day. That's exactly what you need to do. So I drew this illustration up. The shoes are a little jacked up. I think the rod and reels look pretty good. He looks to be a really happy little go-lucky kind of guy. But this pond right here does not necessarily have to be Facebook for y'all. It could be YouTube. It could be solo ads if that's what you want to do. It could be, like I said, ranking high on Google or maybe Yahoo or something like that. Again, it's just getting out there and getting seen, doing the work, focus in one way, master that one way, that one fishing technique that works for you. Master that one way that works for you. And then you can teach your downline that one way. And after you master that one way, you can try something else. I really felt like my Facebook had gotten to a point where I don't know if I really could have gone much farther, to be honest. I felt very confident in it, so I could show people. And listen, something special about learning to fish by throwing it out there every day. Everything you learn, the good, bad, whatever, it will never leave you. It stays right here in between them two ears. I didn't draw. But I think you get the point. It stays right here, and it'll stay with you forever. And that's something you can show these people right here. They need that. And when you walk into that room, it's gonna be something different about you. You understand what I'm saying? When you walk into that group and you connect with these people are gonna connect with you because they know you're putting the hammer down, you're doing the work. So it's very, very important. I think I'm done with this one. This is a very short illustration, but I do remember, y'all, don't get caught up on the little bubbles and the little minnows eating your worms over here in the ditch. Do not get caught over here where your priorities are not correct. You're spending the entire day being a cheerleader in the Facebook group and you're not fishing. Understand what your first priority was to go fishing. Don't be intimidated by it. If you're intimidated, it's because you're at the right place. You understand what I'm saying? Here's something, and that sounds weird, some of y'all may not believe or think about, but I was the type that If a girl intimidated me in school, that was the one I went after. You know what I'm saying? Um, to me, I think that's God's way of letting you know that, this is the one. You know what I'm saying? So that's always kind of how I looked at it as well. I kind of think of this as the same way. If you're intimidated by Facebook, you need to jump in and get out there because you're intimidated because this is where the fish are at. This is where it's going to happen. This is where the action takes place. So, y'all, I'm going to end this. If you need anything, y'all let me know. I hope you enjoyed my illustration. He's a happy little guy, that's for sure. And if you need anything, just click the link down below. I've got my Facebook down there. I've got my phone number. I do Exodus Elite. I do Traffic Hurricane. And I've combined the two together, and I'm doing very well on both. If you need anything, just let me know. Appreciate it.